हाल है हो खैरियत पूछो कभी तो कैफियत पूछो तुम्हारे बिन दीवाने का क्या हाल है.
For the audience, could you please tell us who you are and a little bit about your background and how you and I have met?
Surely. So my name is Ravendra Yadrey. I am an ex-military person, and my rank was wing commander when I left the Air Force or hung up my uniform after 22 years of service in the Indian Air Force. I was born in Chennai, surprisingly, but I spent my whole childhood and my youth in Mumbai, did my engineering from Mumbai, and then got selected in the Indian Air Force when I was in my pre-final year of engineering in the Aeronautical Engineers branch in the Indian Air Force. Spent some time after the Air Force, spent a couple of years in India before moving to Canada. And now in Canada, I worked in a private company for about 7.5 years before moving to CIBC. So presently, I'm working for CIBC in technical operations. That's about me.
So in CIBC, are you involved with hacking and anti-hacking? And
No, I'm not in that. I do projects related to infrastructure, enhancing the infrastructure.
okay. So being a layman, the question comes to our mind that if you do a perfect job, don't you do yourself out of a job?
That's a pretty good question. You know what? Work is all about doing the process and looking for improvements. There is always scope for improvement, right? So whenever we do a job, if we feel that a job normally should take, say, 10 hours, and if we finish it in 7 hours, it means that there is scope for improvement, right? Which means that there are some areas, because the process that has been created has got a lot of buffer or has got inefficiencies built into it, and you've been able to improve upon it. So it's a good scope for getting things, getting the process modified, right? So I look at it that way.
Now, my background is lean manufacturing, and you're talking about hours. We used to talk about minutes and
Minutes. Yes.
So life has changed, but the big thing is that it's not a matter of time saving, it's a matter of how much more you are able to do now.
Exactly.
Because there was a time when on the 30th of the month, if I wanted to see my bank balance, the bank would all be saying, oh, wait 24 hours, this is month end.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah. There were things like that, and yet they would hit you for late charge if you
paid late. A day late.
Yeah. You know what kiting is, right?
I know that term, but I don't seem to recall exactly.
Okay. So kiting is when you have a person like me who's got $100 in the bank account and I got a $110 bill. So what I do is I take money from one account, put it into the other account, same check, and I write there, I catch it and come back. So that time checks were free. So I'm running my money around.
Right.
So that
right.
But December, on the 30th of the month, I used to get caught. Throughout the month, I could do it. But this 30th of the month, close to the 30th, all your manual transactions were on hold.
So they knew about it.
So they caught up with you. So these are small things, but $100 was a lot of money in those days, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the other thing was that the scammers, they seem to always know what's going on. You know, whatever bank you deal with. I don't want to pick on CIBC, but I do a $200 transaction, and I'll use my nephews. My nephews got young sons, and they go to work, and whatever money they get, it comes in bank debit transfer, right? So Thursday, they run to the bank to take money out and it says, sorry, you only got $20. So they go back after an hour and they say, yeah, pay came through. So they take whatever, $40, $50, $60 out. When they get home, their father's got a message there. Somebody called from the bank. Someone just withdrew 7,000 from your account.
Oh my God.
The guy didn't have $50 an hour ago. Now 7,000.
$7,000.
And they're saying we know it's fraud, but
Right,
because of
right.
that, we cancel your card.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
is that happening in that high a volume?
It happens a lot. Yes, every day. Like even on my phone, I get messages or phone calls continuously. You got an Amazon delivery and looks like your address was missed. If you want your delivery, press 1. If you press 1, then you're gone. Right. So it's, and I have educated all my in-laws stay with me here. So told them also don't click on anything. So yeah, the awareness is the only way to ensure that you don't get caught in that trap.
Mm. But awareness also, every day the crook gets smarter than you.
They are always one step ahead. They're one step ahead, and it's not new. It's happened even when we landed in Canada. Also, we got like we trusted everybody, and there were things that happened which I'm not happy about, but it was a learning.
So tell me now, please, when did you come to Canada?
So we landed in Canada in 2014 July. Yeah, 2014 July.
And what was your vision? What was your dream? And were your expectations really met or were they false?
Actually, I came here with not a lot of expectations, in the sense that primarily the primary reason of my coming here was because my wife's brother was here and he had been telling my wife that you all should come here. It's a very good life here. And post retirement, I said, okay, let me try out this place. And my wife was always saying that let's go, kind of like she was after me. And we like, come to think of it, it was a very good choice. So after the initial what do I say, teething problems that I guess every immigrant, I won't say every, most of the immigrants go through, it's been a good life of opportunities, and from a career perspective, as well as in my case singing also, it's a very good avenue. I have more opportunities here, had the opportunity to do a lot of things in terms of singing, which I wouldn't have had back home in India.
I didn't want to bring up singing because singing wipes out everything else. You're singing, you're not. You're, but we will talk about that. But two things you mentioned just now. One was teething problems.
Yes.
And the other thing was you came here after retirement.
That's right. And yeah, so a lot of people when they heard me tell, like back home in India, that I'm going to Canada, they said, are you crazy to take this kind of either you're too crazy or you're too brave? Because at this stage, people go in when they are young, so that they get acclimatized to the system, to the culture. And whereas you're going at a stage where you are too old. And they also warned me about the teething issues that I'm going to talk about, that I told you. They said that what if you don't get a job? I say I'll struggle. I've got some bank balance with me. Let's see how far it takes me. I've got my relative there, so hopefully I can stay at his place for some time till we get some work. So that was the kind of conversations I had with people back home.
So, may I ask what kind of monies did you bring with you? Not necessarily dollars, but how many months could you stay without employment?
So I could have stayed, like if I didn't have any job, I would have stayed maybe for a year and a half. Right. It was primarily my benefits that I got after retirement. So all that had to be was what, but when you convert it to Canadian dollars, it shrinks, right? And the expenses are quite a bit here. It's much more expensive I could buy more things in that than I could here. So that's why, yeah, it would have lasted me, I guess, a year and a half or maybe maximum 2 years, right? But like I said, I had to. The teething problems included doing some jobs, survival jobs. Me and my wife both. After trying for jobs for some time, then we said that okay, we can try for our job, but at the same time, we shouldn't burn off our entire savings. So we asked around and we got some inputs that okay, you can do some work in the warehouse, right, where it's labor intensive, but that's fine. We did it for, I think, so from when we came in July, and then I think from October onwards we did that. Yeah, from October onwards till I think January we both worked, and then I got a temporary technician job. Because what I was doing was we did a course with an organization called Access Employment. So for newcomers, they have courses where they uh, onboard you with respect to the culture, what is expected, how your resume should be, how your mannerisms should be, stuff like that. And they would also get us in touch uh, uh, with companies and with the representatives of companies and provide us avenues to post our resumes and stuff like that. So I had a mentor. I was assigned a mentor, and she was an HR in a company, telecom company. And because of her, I actually got a job as a technician in that particular company. So that was somewhere in, I think, February of 2015.
So was she sensitive to the issues that we immigrants go through? Was
Oh
she an
yes,
immigrant?
oh yes. She was too, and she was, and being in HR, she was. I guess she was linked with the organization with Access Employment, and I guess many others had mentors like her. And but it was not necessary that they would give opportunities to everyone. It was just that they were supposed to help out. You would you would see job openings, and you would, before applying, you could say, hey, this is my resume, can you see if it's fine? She would go through and say, yeah, it matches. So you tailored your resume well, like you put it across, let's see how it works, right? One of the key things that actually she told, and in fact was talked about during our course, was networking, the importance of networking. And for me, I really feel that's the one of the most critical parts in a job search, right? Because you can apply. I had applied, I think must have applied 1,000 times, but I did not receive even a single response back. But the moment I had a reference was, I realized that you would at least get onto the interviewer's table. And that's what you need, because everybody who has got qualifications, experience, and skill behind them, they would be able to share their success stories when you go into an interview, right? So that's what was taught to us there, and that's so important.
So when you say 1,000, are you talking about mass mailing? You were mailing out so many resumes?
Yeah. So on a daily basis, I would like go into Indeed or Monster and see what are the suitable job opportunities, and I would look at them and then apply. Right. But after Access Employment, I learned to tailor my resume, because they told us that your resume won't even get picked up if it doesn't match the keywords which are there in the job description. So that's one of the key things that I learned there.
So can you mention some of the keywords? I know your job
It depends.
is different.
Yeah. So normally, like for example, they say have experience in project management and communication, collaboration. So you should have those words also in your resume, because you may not mention them specifically, right? But you have to make an effort to see where you can put those words so that they get picked up. I can give you an example. Just recently, in fact, there was a job role. Sorry, this is with respect to the networking aspect. There was a job role in my organization, and there was a young lady who worked as a co-op in my organization, and then she She finished her studies and then she reached out to me saying that, hey, Ravi, is there any position open? And fortunately for her, just that day there was an opening which was floated around by a senior director. And I sent her, and I saw that she had all her all the key skills that were needed for that role. And I shared my resume with that senior director, and I told him that I have referred her, and she has also applied through the job portal. After a week, he said, Ravi, do you know how many people applied for that role? I said, no. There were 976 people who applied for that role. And he said that, and sorry, this was not a week, this was a month later. And out of those 976, only 8 were filtered out. Out of those 8, and that filtering was done by HR. And out of those 8, only 3 were interviewed. And out of the 3, she got through because she had the skills and she also had CIBC previous experience. So that's what I'm saying. Networking is the key.
So these keywords that you mentioned, do they have to be in the first 4 lines or first paragraph?
Not necessary. It can be anywhere in the body of the resume. It can be either in the initial stage where you say, I'm a seasoned project manager with experience on dealing with so many projects, and I've been collaborating with all the stakeholders, and like you use those words anywhere. It can be either in that or in your when you talk about your experience at a particular organization.
So just for new immigrants who are in a similar situation looking for jobs, can you, I didn't want you to repeat, but I guess you'll have to repeat. Can you give 3 or 4 simple tips what they should do? Collaboration, networking, things like that.
Yes. So networking is the key. Like key in the sense like when you come in initially, you don't have. So a lot of people who come in, they come in on their own. They don't have a lot of either family or friends. So it's not easy to have. So first thing I would do is connect with your community. There are community groups here. Like for example, Maharashtrian, there is a Maharashtra group. Then in Konkanis, we have our Ontario Konkani Association. So once you get into the group and you attend, people know you, and they know you when you are a part of any events. You have community events, their social events. They know you, they ask about you. Generally, people are willing to help, are really helpful, and they keep you an ear and eye out for you. So that's the most important thing, like, because that's one of the avenues where you should try to network. The other is you need to find a place where you have either in your field. So example, if you are in IT, you would have IT professionals in Toronto. There are groups. You can be a part of that. So once you are a part of that, you get into that group, and then the people are there. You can keep checking there for job roles, job opportunities that are available, or also like-minded people in terms of, like for me, singing, right? Like I said, so singing groups also, people are there in that. Again, through them also you can, like, you may be able to get a job opportunity, right? Though you meet for singing, but you generally, when you socialize, you talk, they'll ask you, hey, Ravi, what are you doing? Where do you work? Oh, I'm looking for a job. Okay, what is your field? What do you work? Oh, I work in this place. I have worked in this areas earlier. Oh, yeah, share your resume. Let me see if something comes up. That's how actually my first job happened over here.
Very good. So not just mingling with the ethnicity, but also with technical,
social.
Okay, so it's every kind.
Yes. Even sports, like go for badminton. Like I go for badminton. So there are people, the youngsters who come in and say, "Hey, where are you working?" Just like small talk, we start with that, and they say, "Oh, I'm working for Infosys, but I'm looking for a change. Hey, do you want to work in CIBC? Apply. I'll refer you." Right? Stuff like that. So things happen that way. So the more people you meet, and the more people you meet, the higher the chances are.
Right, of course, right. Yeah, in my time, there was a professional engineering association had done a survey. They said for every resume, those days there was no internet connection, so we used to mail everything or maybe
Correct.
fax. So they said for every 100 resumes you send out, right, 3 replies you'll get within 2 or 3 days, which means don't even open that envelope. It just says we regret to say. Then a
Yes.
week
Yes.
later, you'll get 3 more responses talking about a second interview. So by the time another 6, 7 go through, you're talking about first 13% chance. 13% may 1%, 1 out of 13 could call you for an interview. Right.
Right. Right.
And that time they used to say, with me, a very funny thing happened. I got called by an Indian guy, and he didn't ask me any technical question. He just asked me, when did you change your name to Ed Daniel? So 15 minutes he kept talking about it. Why did you need to change? You have a good resume. Why did you need to change? मैंने कहा भैया, I'm Ed Daniel from back home. So anyway, needless to say, I didn't get that job. So interesting thing, different things happen. And one of my classmates who was not brilliant in studies, but he was a very smooth talker. So he sent out his resume, 1-page cover saying applying for so and so job. Second page mein, he had a picture of a doorknob.
Doorknob.
Yeah, doorknob. And at the bottom it said, if you're looking for a doorknob, don't waste your time with me. He got 17 interviews. I can't believe that. He got 17 interviews. Some were shocked. Some just wanted to see how much guts.
I'm going to try that sometime. That's a very interesting way of creating. I mean, the person who reads it would be, I need to see who this guy is. Just out of curiosity, I guess. The interview would have been more out of curiosity than anything else, I guess.
So learning from him, and after about 2 or 3 months of trying, I was desperately looking for work. And I changed my resume to say, not quite doorknob, but I said, fire me if I don't get you my monthly salaries as a return on investment every month after the 3rd month. And then second sentence, I said, fire me if you don't get 10 times my what you're paying me every year. Because I'm an industrial engineer. If I can't get you any savings, what's the point in keeping me?
True.
So that's it. And people told me, you're crazy. You got to send your resume. मैंने कहा resume, if they call me, why should I waste? That time we used to print resume on kind of good quality paper. It used to cost 50 cents a page. And I didn't have 50 cents to spare. But that worked good for me, And there was a company called Stevenson and Kellogg. And they called me, they brainwashed me, taught me, and I was shortlisting them now. All of a sudden, I was in a different position. And so, anyway, it's not about me. This show is about you. Okay, second question is new immigrants who are especially weak in spoken English. Spoken meaning manners, etiquette, being this thing. They're fluent in written English. Everybody's done good education and passed. What tips do you have for them?
So there are English speaking courses here also, I think, and like the organization I mentioned to you, Access Employment, there are similar organizations that are, I guess they are not for profit kind of organizations, and they help out new immigrants, and they have specific courses for new immigrants who come in terms of, like I mentioned, resume writing. The one that I did that did not have anything specific with respect to English speaking, but I'm sure they have those courses also. So it's good to enroll. It doesn't cost you. And it's half a day, I think you have to spend with them, and they will have. And the key thing is you keep conversing. The only way to improve, because I'll tell you, I learned French twice in my lifetime. I mean, once when I was in school, and then just before coming to Canada, I thought, let me refresh. I didn't remember a thing of it. The only way you can remember, I mean, you can master a language is if you keep conversing. If you listen to stuff or watch English programs or movies or listen to that and converse, these are the only ways that you can improve, right? And once you have the course, I mean, the English speaking course, I think, and you keep conversing with your family in English, I think it'll slowly but steadily pick up.
So are you bilingual?
No, unfortunately.
Yes.
Because I did not have an opportunity to converse in French here because we landed here, didn't have that opportunity. So I've
Right.
forgotten everything that I learned.
Funny thing in Canada, like I speak Hindi, Punjabi, Urdu, Tamil, and English. That's 5 languages, but I'm not bilingual.
Yes. True.
Bilingual is only French and English.
Only French and English.
Yeah. Having said that, a lot of employers require French if you're related to a job that is known as a federal employee, right? And they pay you to learn. If you learn and they want to practice up to 6 months, they'll pay you. If the other things are all good, right? But even if you tell them, look, I'm working in Timbuktu, 100,000 miles away from Montreal, there is a special category there. So there is some benefit in learning. And for the next generation, for teaching our children, I think another language makes your brain sharp.
It does. It does.
Right?
Absolutely.
And same with music. All the Chinese, Japanese kids I've seen at 3 and 4, they know saregama or equivalent of that much, much better rather than studying bookworms at home. Right. So can you talk about the advantage of music in our careers, in our life, in our growing up?
Yeah. So music, actually, in my case, I have it in my DNA. I can say that because my mom is a semi-classical singer. She's a trained singer. Unfortunately for me, I did not have that interest in my childhood. My focus was more on sports. I love to play cricket all the time in like the gully cricket, as they say, right? And she, in fact, when I was in, I think, 6th class, she put me for sitar classes, and I had a very small sitar specifically customized for me. And I learned that for maybe a month or so, and the music teacher had to move to another place, so that was the end of it. And I was very happy, unfortunately, for my mom. And music did not I did not pursue music till I joined the Air Force. That was like after I crossed 20, right? So but what I have learned from music is it is a real stress buster. Like for me, if I have a stressful day of work, music is the only way I can relieve that stress, right? I know people have different ways of relieving stress. For me, that's one of the key stress relievers. Also, for me, it's a passion. So if I don't sing for 3 to 4 hours in a day, then I feel like a fish out of water. And what I have seen is again, this is just my personal observation, of course, like people who have been connected with music, like you see people at older ages, I think they're more active as compared to people who are not. Right? I've seen a lot of people say in their 80s. I've seen like the amount of throw that they have at that age is amazing, and their brain activity is also much much better than compared to others who are not so much into music. So from my perspective, I think that's something great, which tells a lot about it, right? If it's helping us at that age, so during your the rest of your phases of life, also it is ultimate. It's surely going to bring up enhance your well-being.
So I'll put in a plug here. My wife started this thing called Desi Music Lovers Group.
Yes.
And this came out of COVID. We were running around to parties all over, including where I met you. I think it was Studio Char. And COVID was just starting that time. And here we are 250 kilometers away from Toronto, and we're all locked in. So she started with the karaoke club kind of a thing, because everybody seemed to have karaoke in their phone. And then we said, this is not enough of a challenge. Anybody comes and sings anything that they want. Everybody's got 4 or 5 different. So as you know, now we have themes 3 times a week.
Oh, that keeps us on our toes all the time.
So people are scratching their head to come up with a song, and fast. We don't allow duplication, so they want to sing it before Ravi sings it.
Yes, I see people like they were very fast on the take. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like little schoolboys, sometimes they fight that. Hey, I saw that. I thought about that. You took. So we're enjoying it, and like you said, that sharpens the brain quite a bit. And
Absolutely.
personally, I enjoy it. I'm not a singer, but I enjoy listening. But for me, Bollywood is everything. And of course, Qawwali is coming from Bhopal. Qawwali and Ghazal, I have a passion for that, right? And I have to put this in. First time I met Ravi, he would not sing Panch Rupaiya Bara Ana. And I had to force him. I said, look, I'm sure you can do it. There's 3 or 4 different changes that Kishore Kumar makes in that. And you've done a fantastic job. And I forced a lot of people to do that, but yours the best. Nobody else can beat that. So, with your
Thank you.
permission, I'll add a clip of that later in the day. I've already got your recordings in.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
I thought I'm choosing a fun song. So but it has a female karaoke, so along with that, so this is one of older song. This is from the movie Chalti Ka Naam Gaadi. And I'm trying it. I've sung it earlier, but I'm singing after a long time. It's Main Sitaron Ka Tarana. So 5 Rupaiya Barana. So fun song. You wanted an item song, right, Eddie G? So I'll try that.
Was that movie was with the 3 brothers together?
Yes.
Was
Yes.
interesting. Lovely.
Yes.
जी.
चलती का नाम गाड़ी
Yes.
बिल्कुल.
And I have to stand to sing it because
बिकॉज गाड़ी चलती नहीं है नहीं तो
गाड़ी नहीं चलेगी नहीं तो. Please forgive me if there are mistakes because गला अभी थोड़ा सा है तो, but I will try it. I love this song, so and I'm sure everybody will enjoy it too.
नहीं, किशोर जी की range is good for you, I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah.
So here goes. रूप का तुम हो खजाना, तुम हो मेरी जान ये माना, लेकिन पहले दे दो मेरा 5 रुपया 12 आना.
Having said that, what do you miss about back home?
Actually, the only thing is that like it's our motherland and my mother is there. I think other than that, I'm well settled here. And the key thing is right now, even for my mother, like she's with my brother, my 2 younger brothers. So she's at one of the like she has 6 months with one brother and the other 6 months with the other, and I'm in touch with her every day. So it's like we are in touch. Technology has really helped us do that, right? Unlike earlier, where we would have to wait maybe after 9 o'clock to call so that we are at 1/4 charge, and the exorbitant international call charges. We don't have all that thanks to WhatsApp, on which we can call them, right? On video too. So I don't think I miss a lot right now, frankly speaking. But yes, I when I went back to India, I loved being there. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I think that's what it is right now.
And do you think you can settle down in India if everything else was equal?
I would surely. Yes, I would.
Talking about long distance calls, when I came to Canada, we were only allowed to bring $8 out of India.
Wow.
So $1.50 the porter took, $1.50 the hamburger people took, And that's all I had for the rest of the month.
Oh my God.
Fortunately, I had friends here who looked after me. But in those days, calling long distance, like you said, it was after 11 o'clock that it was cheaper. But even after 11 o'clock, it was $1.65 a minute.
Right.
And my salary was $1.50 an hour. Minimum wage was $1.50. I was working at that.
Right.
I used to write letters. In October, I will start writing letters. December 24th, I will phone you. 2 months before. So finally, December 24th comes and I kept the phone free and whatever. And I call and I say, hello. And my mother says, who's that? I said, Eddie. She said, Eddie's gone to Canada. I said, no, mommy, this is Eddie here. And
Right.
she'd say, okay, I will tell him you called. What's your name? I said, my name is Eddie. Oh, she said, I told you Eddie's gone to Canada. So 3 minutes हमारा ऐसे कट जाता था.
Right.
We had already told the operator कि we are only paying for 3 minutes.
Right.
After this 2.5 minutes, she would come on saying, sir, your time is up.
Yeah.
So I would tell my mother, okay, I will write a letter and tell you. So that's how primitive things were.
Right.
And in the early 90s, I went to Mozambique. I did projects in Mozambique. And I asked for a phone, and they told me there was a thing hanging on the wall. I looked at it. It was a mouthpiece that you spoke in like this, and then you say, hello, how are you? And then you put it to your ear. You went back and forth. And it was a big wooden box. You had to crank it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, what kind of country is it? So anyway, I was there for 3 years. So I used to come and go. And 3 or 4 months later, I went back over there. They had cellular dishes all over Mozambique, way before Canada.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, they never went for landlines. They went straight for, progressive.
Cellular.
Yeah. And this is what I think Geo or somebody in India did it. India, mobile phone is so cheap.
Right.
So one day, the sabzi wala came to my sister's house. And my sister said, ye falana cheese hai. And he says, tha, khatam ho gaya. She says, why are you coming now? He says, madam, aapko main phone karke bataunga. Sabzi wala was saying, you want me to phone you and tell you, or you want me to put it on FaceTime? FaceTime that I've got bindi in my Yeah, life is changing very fast. Technology is changing very fast.
Yeah.
Now, I have one major issue that I need help with. We have a lot of our young people, as you know, a lot of them came with on students' visa, and a lot of them were tricked. So they don't even have admission in universities. So some of them, they force their parents to sell their houses to take 60, 70, 80,000 lakhs, 80 lakh loans. So they've come here with the hope that within a year they will repay that money.
Right.
And it's taken me a lifetime to save $70,000.
Oh yeah.
And along with that, they also want to drive the best of cars, and they change every 3 years. They don't respect insurance. They don't respect traffic lights. And I'm talking about basically Brampton area where I spend a lot of time in. How can we get across to people that driving is a privilege? It's not your right. And when you haven't passed, you pay and get a license. That's only kill you or somebody else. 16 people go for a driving test. One person does the road test. 16 licenses are issued. So all these things are happening in Brampton, especially. And people don't realize that it can hurt you yourself, especially if you're licensed for an 18-wheeler.
Right. Absolutely.
Milton Jail has got 700 people waiting for bail on domestic violence charges. So when they talk to you and they say this, they talk like this. Punjabi mein gali to maa bahan ki gali is a threat. Here, we don't accept that. But when you talk like this, if I, as a volunteer, if I see somebody at Tim Hortons talking to his wife like that, I'm supposed to call the police. But Brampton, the police won't have time for anything else. It's constantly happening there.
Right.
And at CIBC, there was a case when the lady wanted to take her money out, India se paise aaye the, and the teller took too long. And this lady's phone kept ringing. Kids were impatient. The ride was waiting outside. So she told the girl, she said, give me my money fast, otherwise I kill you.
Oh God. Right.
So the girl hit the red button, panic button, and police came with Yeah.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah. So these are things that I don't know how to communicate, how to get across to these people. One on one, I'm doing it, but this is happening too many. You know.
It's not, there's no easy solution to this, right? Because you don't know who does it. Like out of the so many people, who is disciplined and who is not, right?
Right.
Because it depends on, and also the willingness to listen is should be there. That's the
Yeah.
key. Because if they come with an attitude that okay, it's like I was back home, I will be like that exactly, I will live like that exactly over here, it doesn't work that way. Right? Things are much more disciplined here, and they need to really learn. And that's a part of, in fact, when I came in, that was what was told initially. You don't get jobs because they won't, if you, unless you have an experience in Canada. I said it's like a chicken and egg story.
Right.
How will I get that experience until somebody gives me that, right, kind of thing? And I know it's not legal for them to do that. They're not supposed to ask you like, did you work anywhere in Canada, right? That should not be a thing. But who can stop them, right? From the
No, but
recruiters.
even if you worked at McDonald's, if you worked at McDonald's, you know how to use the toilet. You know how to flush
Yes,
after you
yes.
finish. So
True.
those are things that, in my time, they started ESL classes, okay, where I was in a small town. ESL was great, English as a second language.
Yeah.
In Brampton, they put 30 or 40 Punjabi speaking kids in ESL classes. And the kids said, why do we need to learn? We can communicate very well with each other in Punjabi. So the teacher had to take PSL class, Punjabi as a second language.
Oh God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know.
But
I know. Yeah.
Guzara ho jata hai, so then they never learn. It's like
Yeah.
in Chinatown, there are a lot of Chinese people who talk only to Chinese people, so they don't have the need for learning English, but they don't
Yes.
aspirations nahi hai unka ki they'll become
Yeah.
big shot.
Yeah.
So, so that's one major concern I have. Now, you got a few minutes more?
Yeah. Sure.
I've already taken quite a bit of your time. Okay, I'm gonna. Can I guess you're in the 50s, early 50s?
Yes.
Okay. Later 50s. Okay.
Yes.
So I've seen, and you've been here quite a while, so you've seen the best of both worlds, right? And in India, you've seen different cultures, different languages. India is very diverse. People don't realize how many different things there are over there.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to throw some words at you, and don't think too much. Just give me your immediate reaction. Okay. And if it's right or wrong, doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm going to make some bold statements.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Age is inversely proportional to IQ.
I can say true.
You can agree, disagree, or challenge it. Okay. Another thing that's happening in Canada with immigrants, big house, but very small family.
True. It happens a lot.
More education, but less common sense.
Absolutely agree with that.
Advanced medicine, but poor health.
Due to lack of infrastructure, I can say that.
Touch the moon, but neighbors are unknown.
That's typically in Mumbai, where you stay in a flat and you don't know who else is there in your next flat.
Not in Toronto, not in the GTA.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, true that too. Yeah. Because right now I'm staying in a house, but yeah, earlier when I was staying in an apartment building, yeah, I didn't know anybody there around there. True that.
So now one of the things I tell people who want to volunteer, and they say, how can I volunteer? I never know what to do. Well, I said, look, if you're in a townhouse complex, you see across the street, Mrs. Smith's garbage can has been sitting there for 3 days after the garbage gone. There's something wrong there. So just take the garbage in, a container in, knock on the door and say, Mrs. Smith, can I bring you a loaf of bread or milk? हम सब हैं 40-50 यहाँ पे, we all
Yeah.
go out. So they say, oh, I never thought of that as help. And when you go there, you find out, like my personal experience, I find out the lady says, everything is fine, but I don't know how to open my pill container. So 4 दिन से मैंने दवाई नहीं खाई because I don't know how to.
Right. Yeah.
So I help her do that, but then I see on the table there are 10 other pill containers without the lid on. So if she spills them, she doesn't know which one came from which one, and some are twice a day, some are once in, So over medication is another issue, right?
Absolutely.
So now I drive people around all over Ontario, and Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, I've driven our own Desi Vice. And long story short, 2 of my friends were alcoholics who stopped drinking because now they're also volunteer drivers with me.
Right.
And on 6th of January, his mother-in-law phoned me and she said, I've never seen so-and-so sober after cocktail hour. She said, Kya kar diya apne jadoo hai? He doesn't drink now. So now he goes to a party. He's the life of the party. He knows his children, he knows the grandchildren. So simple things like that. And it's not necessarily that you have to shovel everybody's driveway. No, and I was young, I would do it, but I can't do that now.
Right.
Okay. So another statement. We now have high income, but low peace of mind.
Yeah, agree with that too. Yeah.
You think that's true?
That's true. Yeah.
Would that be different if you go back to India?
It could be different, yes. Because here income doesn't translate into all the facilities. I mean, in that way, right? Back home, I know I could save a lot if I had very high income. Here, even if it is high income, you don't have that much money back with you. The charges are much higher. Your insurance, your phone bills are much higher as compared to what it is in back home in India. That's my personal experience.
My personal experience is it may be higher, but it's known and it's fixed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whereas in India, to make my monthly payment on time, I have to go and bribe somebody. Bhai, mera paisa. We've got used to that. It's so common.
Right.
Electricity bill, they're going to cut off tomorrow. But today I am standing in line that says 4 o'clock ho gaya, I'm not taking money.
Yeah.
So now I have to go across the street, pay somebody 20% extra and
ensure that it doesn't cut off.
Things like that are very, very frustrating. And I left India as a young boy. I was 23, 24 when I came here. Fortunately, I was single and I roughed it out. But those things I just cannot accept. So when I go to India, I go for 3 weeks. After 2 weeks, I am not keen on staying there anymore. I start talking about, 6 kambalas you've got here. Now, delivery, very common food delivery guy comes and I gave him a drink mangola or something like that. And he said, wo to de rahe ho sahab, but time nahi hai isko peene ka. I said, what happened? And he started crying, adult. I said, what happened? He says, this is the 3rd job I've been fired from this week. Because they're guaranteeing everybody. His delivery is on time or free.
Right.
Free hota to they take it out of this guy's income.
Right.
Okay. Next statement. Lots of human beings, but less humanity.
Fully agree. Yeah. Today's world. Too much materialistic.
More here than back home?
I would say that, yes. How
about lots of knowledge, but not enough wisdom?
Oh, that's top on the list.
Okay, and you'd like to add to that so that I can add to my list for the next person?
I will give it a thought. I'm not on the spot kind of a thinker, but I will surely think. And if I come across some, I will surely share that with you.
Okay. Now, 3 questions more I got, then I'll leave.
Yeah, sure.
What was your dream as a kid, say up to high school? What was your dream? What did you want to be? And did you achieve all that?
So, in my younger, when till 9th standard, I was a very, very average student. Very average. I would study just one day before the exam and pass somehow. but and I did not have any aspirations at that stage. Somewhere down the line in my ninth standard, my mother, she there was another guy in my adjacent building. We both were in the same class. So his mother and my mother, they used to talk. They were good friends. They talked. So my friend, the other guy, he was very good in maths, and I was poor, very poor. Like, did not put efforts. That was the key thing. So she put us together. So they talked and they said, these guys should do, like, let's put them together to study, and let's hope some good comes out of it. So my mother would send me to his house, and his mother would sit across the table with, like this, so that we study. And that actually, I will say, was a turning point in my career, because he was very good in maths. He was very good in the sense he was very good and very fast. If the sum was given, he would just like quickly calculate and do all the steps and be out with the answer. And I was slowly start, because that competitive spirit slowly started getting to me. First time when I did, I said, "Oh, what the hell? I've not even looked at the question fully, and he's already finished it." Right? It was an embarrassment to me. But slowly, that sunk in, and that competitive spirit really, because now I became good as him. So he also started to do things better or efficiently than he was doing earlier. And that actually had a very good thing on both of us. Like, he and me both started getting very good marks. And then on, I think ninth and 10th was when I started thinking that, okay, maybe I should become an engineer. That's what thought came to my mind, but nothing specific. That's what I thought. I like, as far as my memory goes, first time when I really thought about it was, okay, somebody asked me, what do you want to become? In fact, I said, I don't know. But my mom had got an astrologer come in, and he had looked at my hand and told my mom. He didn't tell me. He told my mom that he's going to become an engineer. My mom laughed at him. This guy, he doesn't, like, he barely passes. How can he become an engineer? So later on, she told me that, this astrologer who had come, and he had said, you're going to become an engineer. So I said, wow, he had so much faith in me. And did you? He said, no, I did not. So that's how actually, like, it started off. Like, first time that was the thought that came to my mind, and it turned out to be true. So, and I've been working as an engineer throughout. Yeah.
हमारे स्कूल में every report card that came home, my teacher wrote something there which made me think that I'm going to become an astronaut.
What was that?
Do you know what she wrote?
No, tell me.
All he's doing in school is taking up space. Okay. What made you laugh the most in your life? Funniest thing that happened to you or you saw happening to somebody else?
Yeah, so I remember, like, I know there would be a lot, but the one that is vividly in my memory is when I was undergoing training in the Air Force. So that time, like, when you are the junior most course there, you are like, you get ragged a lot by your senior courses, as well as by the instructors are also very, very strict with you. So here's the scenario. We had a class, and the instructor was not in. So we all of us were outside, and three of us went into the adjacent room. There was a TV there, so there was a match going on, and two of my colleagues were watching the match, and they were looking at the score, and I was standing in front of them, and behind them was the door, and I saw the adjutant walk in, and we were scared the hell out. Like, we were scared of him. He was very, very strict. And he saw that we were looking at it, and when I saw him, and I was like a rabbit frozen in front of a light, like, okay. But the other two guys they had their backs to him, so they did not know. So this guy came and put his hand on, tapped the one guy's shoulder. He said, "Arey, kya ho raha hai? Abhi dekhne de match." Again, he tapped him. And all the time I'm looking at him, oh my God, what's going to happen now? And then he did that again. Arey, chhod yaar, match to dekhne de. And then he shouted, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And that guy literally jumped out of his pants. And seeing our reaction, he laughed. He himself, he couldn't stop himself. He laughed. And looking at him, we also laughed. So I don't think there's another incident in my life where I laughed more than that. That was one of the funniest incidents that had happened.
Mm-hmm. So, Ravi, I said we'll avoid talking about the army and the forces and so forth, but I have to share. I get a little emotional. I was very, 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 very keen on going to the army and from throughout school, engineering and all other things. But
Right.
I had very, very weak eyesight. I used to wear thick glasses from the age of 10.
Right.
You know, I had to
Right.
almost
Right.
go and stand at the blackboard. So I
Right.
reached
Right.
1971 में पहला पाकिस्तान या चाइना एग्रेशन हुआ है.
Pakistan. Yeah.
So all my classmates, everybody didn't want to go for college. My close friends, they all wanted to go to the NDA or IMA. So I tried NDA, IMA, UPSC exams. You have to write, pass all them. They were tough exams, but I always passed them. And then I went for 3-4 day SSB selection. And last was eyes, ear, nose, throat. And my eyesight was so bad. You needed so much with glasses. मेरा
Right.
2020 कभी नहीं हुआ. But when I went, they said, okay, ये नहीं हो रहा है आपका, but try next year, maybe IMA में हो जाएगा, because standards are a little different. And then I went for Chinese aggression, then I went for short service commission, then I went for whatever. In the meantime, I had to keep studying. So I reached 4th year engineering, and then I joined the EME. And EME, again, they went through all these SSB and medical tests, and my eyesight was bad. I couldn't see. If you're standing 4 feet in front of me, I couldn't tell whether your eyes are open or closed without glasses.
Oh, right.
So wo bhi
Right.
chutti ho gaya. So eventually I came to Canada. I came here, I had cataract surgery, and all of a sudden I got 20/20 vision.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so 5th year, those days you had to be a citizen, you had to wait 5 years. As soon as I became a citizen, I joined the forces. So going back, when those 5 or 6 years that I watched all my other friends go in, we used to go to a place called S.N. Das Gupta College. That used to be the only place for teaching UPSC classes. So we had a thick book, and they used to take us through. So through that and through SSBs, I had 38 very good friends who all were, would give their right hand to join the forces. So I'm sorry, there were more than 38. 38 got in. Okay. So every day, every week, new selection aata tha newspaper mein. I used to look at the pictures, and I used to be so jealous of them. Another guy got in, and
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah.
so eventually I reached one stage where the newspapers were full of these guys' pictures, but not that they got selected, but missing in action.
Right. Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.
So it was a sad thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the guys who was a very, very sharp pilot, he used to do Delhi mein there was a flying club. He was there, and even as when we were in high school, he used to flying school. His parents had put him there, so he was very keen. He could fly anything, very minimum. So uski story, he never came back. He went to war, never came back. And then we heard later that guys who were near him with him, they overheard a conversation when this guy was told to take a plane and fly to a certain area. The sergeant, whoever was there, he said, "Sir, abhi inka plane refuel hona hai, abhi it's not ready." So the commanding officer made a statement saying he doesn't need fuel for coming back. He's not coming back.
Oh, wow.
So they sent him as a sacrificial thing. And when I talk about it, a lot of the people who are in high position, they say these things happen. Don't get emotional. But
It's difficult not to get emotional. It's impossible.
When you know somebody, and
True.
knowing this guy is not coming back. They didn't even give him the chance, the fuel to come back, because all he was doing was flying to see where the fire is coming from, and they wanted to
Report
bombard.
back.
Yeah. No, he wasn't going to report back.
I mean, on his RT.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So those are things that, and he was a gentleman, very fine guy, always laughing, whatever. So from 60 some of my close friends over the last 5 years that I was there, last 5 years, 38 of them got in the forces and never came back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Missing in action. Those days, I don't think they used to bring bodies back either. Yeah.
Missing in action would be missing in action, right? And that means they didn't find whatever efforts they made, they couldn't find the body.
They didn't make an effort. After they make an effort, or India, Pakistan, Geneva Convention says returning the body. Those days, I don't think we cared. You found a body somewhere, 10 rocks over it, and let's not get too emotional about that.
Yeah.
But there's the reality of war. We don't think about it. I have a lot of friends who have come back wounded but recovered. And the sad part about all my friends was I'm almost 80 now, and they're almost my age, but they all retired in their 50s. So if you don't reach a certain, I think, Colonel, if you didn't make it by 52 or something.
Yeah, then you had to retire, yeah.
Right. Now, what did they do after that? A few of them got jobs, few of them took jobs, few of them didn't want to take jobs, but they all sat with a bottle in front of them.
Yeah, that's not good, right?
Yeah, and that's the sad part. Whenever I go there, I used to meet, till 10 years ago, I used to meet about a dozen people wherever, but they'd always come to the officers' club. And then they started saying to me, "Arey, tu to pita nahi hai, you are no fun to be around." So I said, okay, I'm still around, at least I'm still working. But a lot of them have developed problems which they take pride. They take pride in saying, "Mera double bypass hua, mera triple bypass hua," and military hospital pays for it. I only had to pay X number of rupees. And
right.
So hopefully that will change. And that's sad. I thank you for your service, and thank you for coming here and giving us your time. Any last minute words of wisdom?
No, I guess the key thing, what I would say for new immigrants specifically, like other than what I mentioned, was that we have all our ups and downs, right? Life is all about ups and downs. So when you are down, just be sure to ensure that you keep persevering. That's the key. That's my mantra that I have learned from my experience, the hard way, of course, not the easy way. Easier to say for me to say it now, but during the days when I was down and out, I was lucky that I had my family who were supportive, my friends who were supportive, and I persevered. I just had to keep going and focus on the controllables. What is in my control, just focus on that. What's not in my control, don't think on that. Just take it very simple, one day at a time, and ensure that because there's always light at the end of the tunnel. That's what my belief is, and every time I've been proven right. Like, there was a time when it was difficult, but slowly it goes off, and then you're back to your good days. So just an advice, because I had like in my initial days as an immigrant, when I came, there were a couple of people who went back because they felt that it's impossible to survive here. I may not get a job, right? You just have to persevere. That's the key to that. That's my...
Thank you. You're absolutely right. Thanks very much, and all the best to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed Saab.
God bless. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
तू क्यों कोई ध्यान करे करेला तू दुनिया चतुराई छोटी कर दूंगा मैं सही खोके जो आवाज लगाई छोटी कर दूंगा चतुर नार हम छोड़ेगा नहीं